Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. There are very few things in life that can melt your heart like a new puppy. And there's a reason for that. We were put on this earth to love one another, to show compassion, and to help each other out. Puppies were put on this earth to show us how to do that. All we have to do is pay attention. They are love personified. They live to serve and they thrive on your attention. You might not even be a dog owner, but you can't deny the cute, cuddly affection and the happiness that radiates from these miraculous creatures. Any breed, any color, any size. Just watching them shred paper in the pet store window, feeling their soft fur against your skin. It is pure, unadulterated joy, and I could go on all day long with examples, but there's probably a few running through your head right now. Do I have you in a happy place? Hang on to that feeling, because it gets better. Today, you get to meet Becky Hohnstein. She has written a fun-loving picture book of rhymes that traces the life of her best friend Tuesday. Here's a sample that needs very little setup because the picture will paint itself easily on your mind's eye.
It tells you what she's doing. She's digging in the mud, so it goes. With black nose and eyes and often black paws, she became a frisky cocker with a mighty cause. She dug in the mud, her curly spattered locks, once clean and white, now a grubby mask and socks.
And then, as you might expect, it was bath time.
A bathtub grapple and some time we found our Tuesday with much less grime.
The book is called Tuesday's Story, a book of rhyme for children and pet lovers. A title that sums up the book pretty perfectly. It traces the full life of Tuesday from puppy to adulthood and her eventual passing.
Oh, Tuesday was a wonderful little cocker Bichon that we had for 14 and a half years. And I had to put her down, and it was very traumatic for me.
To be sure, getting a puppy has to be the best day of your life. And for many of us, it begins a life filled with firsts. The first cute little bark, the first time he does what you tell him, the first trip to the park, the first bath, the first item destroyed, sadly, and eventually, the first time you have to say goodbye. One of the takeaways today is to make sure you photograph all those firsts. It's the fastest and easiest way to find comfort when they're gone.
I started discovering all these pictures on my computer, and it made me feel better to look at them. And then I started putting words to them, and then I found myself putting a story to the pictures. It was very relaxing, but it helped me to deal with the death of Tuesday also. Then I decided to rhyme the words, and then I decided maybe it would be a nice children's book.
She was right. The introduction to the book reads, Tuesday was born on a Wednesday. After a few weeks, she came to us on a Saturday. She was named on a Friday. This is Tuesday's story. It's a story with a new adventure on every page, so it flows from one thing to another, and because of the photos, it's as fun to look at as it is to read. See, Becky is also an amateur photographer, so the pictures are terrific. Side note here, she has a great eye for good lighting and unique landmarks like Carhenge in Alliance, Nebraska. Carhenge is a replica of Stonehenge using cars, and it is absolutely the eighth wonder of the world, to be sure. It's a sight not to be missed on your next trip through Alliance, Nebraska. I put a link to the website in the show's description.
And it's a bunch of cars that have been put in the ground for years and years, and people take pictures of them. Well, I had to get up one morning very early, like 50 miles away, and I had to be there at sunrise because the cars are all kind of gray and colorless, but I had to be there at sunrise so I could get the sun reflecting on them. And as I recall, my fingers were frozen for about half an hour, but I got the pictures I wanted.
And it's that kind of attention to detail, combined with her clever rhymes and obvious loving relationship with Tuesday, that makes this such a special project.
It is a fun book to read, and then you want to read it again, because it has that flow.
Oh yes, I think the first word my daughter learned was again. It's nice when it's a book that you're happy to read over and over again. Tuesday's Story. A book of rhyme for children and pet lovers by Becky Hohnstein is one of those stories. It's available now at lots of independent bookstores, so if you'd like to support local businesses, there are links in the show's description. It is also available at the big bookstores like Xlibris.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Amazon.com. And that will do it for this cute and cuddly edition of Newsgram from WebTalkRadio.com.